I'm not ready. What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I'm turning on the rest of my lights. World's most unprepared streamer. Thanks for coming. Oh boy, hold on. One more thing I gotta do. One more button I gotta push. One more. That button, that button, that button. There we go. Now it looks okay in here. Thanks for coming. That was some 3-inch Ripsqueak footage. It's the Ripsqueak with the RCX 1306s. RCX motors are sold only by MyRCMart, who ships from overseas. Great motors, though. That was Runcam Hybrid on 4K30. And what else? Gemfan 3035 propellers. That is an old school propeller, but it's the best 3-inch propeller that we've got at the moment. T-mount, that is. M5 nut. We've got the T-Motor 3140, which is brilliant. Yeah. Cheers, friends, to being fully vaccinated. Go get your shots, yo, so you don't get Corona Extra. Ugh. Put it right there so you can look right down the spout. Oh, look at that coronavirus. This is my full-time job now. If you'd like me to keep going on this daily adventure through the FPV universe, I need everybody's help, to be really honest. I need you guys to click stuff down here, leave a comment, hang out in the chat, and jump on over to my website, CiottiFPV.com. If you go over to CiottiFPV.com, you'll be greeted with amazing buttons that you can click. The one that you can click that helps me the most is Patreon. Patreon is the closest thing that I have to a paycheck. There's a lot of really good benefits over there. I've written a ton of articles on how to troubleshoot motor heat, mid-throttle oscillations, how to PID tune very simply so you don't have to be afraid of it anymore. Same with filters. You're going to get audio versions of all these daily live streams. You're going to get daily live streams. The patrons get daily live streams. You're going to get an email notification when I go live. You're going to get a Facebook notification, and you're going to get a Discord notification by joining. And all kinds of other good stuff. So yeah, jump on my Patreon. It's going to cost you $3 whole a month. I swear to God, you're going to love it, and it's going to be well worth a couple of dollars every month. All my social media stuff on here, YouTube, Instagram. Here's my Etsy store with some really cool stickers and hardware. Over on Fiverr, I would love to work together with you in a one-on-one setting. I can help you fly better with some flight instruction and some flight coaching. I've been at this for 4.5 years. And I've learned a couple things, and having a 10-plus year history in instructing motorsports as a driving coach at the racetrack has allowed me to really understand how to explain things differently to you guys so that you can actually let it sink in. So if you want to be better as a pilot, which is a really nice thing, it's good to go out and fly well and have really cool looking footage, I can definitely help you out with that over on Fiverr. Also, if you need help with tuning or build planning, I can help you out there as well. I've done a lot of tuning over the years, and I know what parts are garbage and what parts are good. So spend a couple of bucks on a human being, and then that human being can help you not waste money from Chinese manufacturers. How about that? I've got some t-shirts and some mugs and sweatshirts over on Teespring here. Here's a link to FPV Exchange. Here is my little store on FPV Exchange, which Nevin very kindly set up for me. FPV Exchange is the best place to kind of price shop. If you're looking to buy a TBS Nano, you can type that into the search. It'll show you every single website, how much they're selling it for. So you can save a couple of dollars, and they will also show you if anybody is selling it privately, so you can save even more money. For example, right? These Schizo t-shirts, these 3B hobby motors, these stick ends here, I'm selling these all. So if you click on one of the, or if you were to search for these stick ends, you're going to see that CiottiFPV is selling them for $8, but then rotorvillage.ca is selling them for the regular retail price of $12.19. It's the only place that you're ever going to be on the same page as RDQ, Pyrodrone, Get FPV, all the big shops. So do it. Head on over to FPV Exchange, click some buttons, import all of your purchases, and you're going to love it. That's not the right button. So yeah, FPV Exchange even dug into Etsy to show some of my really cool stickers that I'm selling, some of the random hardware that I'm selling here, and it even connects with my Fiverr page to show a couple of the jobs that I'm doing here, tuning for smoothness, speccing out the best parts for your build. Lots of really good stuff going on. Also a bunch of affiliate links. If you ever find yourself doing an order on FPV Cycle, Amazon, Get FPV, Oh My God's website, FPV Crate, Banggood, and a couple others, if you hit my affiliate link before you do the order, it's free money. Between 1% and 6% of your total shopping cart will come to me, and then I'll piss it away on more stuff that we can test together. How about that? Because that's become my career, literally. It's crazy. So yeah. Hey, May is Mental Health Month, so while you're over here on my website, hit this button here to FPV Therapy. Come on over into our Facebook group, and yeah, see if you like it. We've got some really good stuff here. Some really brave people are in here posting some wacky stuff. I actually need to leave this up and moderate it a little bit. Looks like we got some flight edits in there, which can stay for a day or two, but then we kind of get them out of there. So yeah, come on over to FPV Therapy. It's a really cool spot. Even if you don't struggle with mental illness yourself, 1 in 5 of us do. So if you know more than 5 people, you know somebody that's struggling on the inside, and they probably don't want to talk to you about it because you're a normie. But if you learn a little bit about it, you'll learn how to kind of engage with those people and let them know that you're an ally. And I can't even begin to explain to you how much that means to people like myself that really struggle with this shit on an everyday basis. So yeah, if you just want to be a better human here on Earth, which you probably do, come on over, read a couple of our stories, get your head wrapped around sort of what the hell we're going through each and every day. And then when you have an interaction with somebody, that you might see some of sort of the cues, and you might be able to just say to them like, hey, I get what you're going through, it's all good, rather than saying like, oh, why don't you just be less sad? Because if those of us that have this shit get told that one more time, we're gonna snap. Because if we could just be less sad, believe me, we would have done that a long-ass time ago. Right, fellow broken people? Not broken, just different, yo. If you'd like to talk directly to me in the chat, all you've got to do is type my name. When you type my name, it highlights in orange here. You can put an @ in front of it, but you don't have to. What you do have to do is spell it correctly. CiottiFPV. That will light up in orange, and I'll know that you're talking directly to me. Speaking of the chat, Alpha Sloth was first. BeepTube was next. Dan Richmond, 509 FPV. BeepTube again. Richard Zanakis FPV. Zanakis FPV is FPV Exchange. Everybody say hello. That he is one of the best humans that you guys will ever meet. He's in an ER saving actual human being lives all day, and then he comes home and makes us an awesome website to save FPV lives. Maybe not lives, but dollars, that's for sure. Matthew Savu, CH3FPV, Dan Richmond, EE Doc Orga, Dan Richmond again, Paul McDonald, DQ, Metal Dirtskin, Quad Doc, Dan Richmond, Frank Nicholas, Squitchy FPV, Orga, Torktastic, and License to Drive. I'm going to stop there so I don't go on all night. If you want to hear me read your name, you got to get in early. Though, or just tag me like CH3FPV did. He says, what? License to Drive says, GemFan3035, did you say? How durable are they? Not tried those yet. Not very durable, but they're the most durable that I've found that we've got in 3-inch for T-mount, rather. Frank Nicholas dropping the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, brother. Guillermo Nespolo saying hello. Michael Blade saying hey. 05 Alabama saying hello. T-Bird saying what's up. Luke is taking care of Saturday, so I'm coming down. Very cool, T-Bird. Orga says boo boo to Rotor Village only by CiottiFPV. I agree. Dan Richmond says, my 5-inch started acting bad, so I looked at black box, and pitch has a huge band of noise that it didn't used to have, but roll looks normal. Couldn't find any broken part of the frame. Could it be flight controller? It certainly could, Dan. When the gyro starts to fail on the flight controller, it'll usually fail in one direction rather than the other. Make sure you've tested your motors to make sure that they're smooth. Make sure that all your hardware is tight. Flex your arms like I always show you. Twist your arms as well. But yeah, if it's just on one axis rather than the other, a lot of times that'll be a blown up gyro. I had that on a bunch of AIOs that I tried testing years ago. And yeah, it sucks. But you would be... I finally got to the bottom of it because I noticed that on the roll axis, it would have like basically mid-throttle oscillations during the roll, but on the pitch axis it was nice and quiet and nice and smooth, and no amount of tuning changed that. And then yeah, moved off of the AIO and magically everything was better, which is kind of what always happens with AIOs. Guillermo says, show me those motors, love that crystal canopy and frame for my Mobula 6 when it arrives, gonna take forever. You're gonna see the motors in a bit. They're prototype motors, so there's like nothing. I mean, they're not cool looking or anything. But yeah, you're gonna see them in a bit. We're gonna be putting them on a couple of rigs, and we're also gonna repair the 65 mil rig here that took one hell of a beating at Micro Mayhem. Jason Crabtree says, did you send my package via covered wagon? It finally made it to Los Angeles, so should be able to get to play with it by Saturday. Yeah, I try to save a couple of bucks by sending stuff cheaply. Plus, the cheaper you send stuff, the more eco-friendly it sort of is. So yeah, I'm just glad I got it out. It's because I got a bunch more I still need to get out. Zach Lothamer says, can anyone explain to me why the hell FedEx Economy shipping has to take so long? I'm watching the tracking on my Tiny Hawk 2 from CiottiFPV like a dog waiting for the owner to get home. Zach, like I just mentioned, you know, it's helping the planet for the shipping to take forever. Just keep telling yourself that, and maybe you'll feel less anxious waiting for it. License to Drive says, ever tried the King Kong LDARC 2840 props? They're for the ET125 quad. I have. Unfortunately, they break at the hub, just like the HQ 3x3x3s. Also, because they're also very heavy, because they're this big, thick plastic, but then they don't make as much thrust as the other 3-inch props. Even though they're a 40 pitch, the fact that they're 2.8 inches in diameter, yeah, you end up not making as much thrust. I love those props for a while because I was able to fit them on a 2.5-inch frame. But once you've got a 3-inch frame, the GemFan 3035s and even the GemFan 3028s are a better choice. Jesus Christ, everything in my life is beeping and making noises and all kinds of shit right now. Freelojo says, what CA would you recommend for Whoop frames? Have new ones on the way. I have no idea, Freelojo. I don't know if I would recommend super glue for those, though. I think what you want is welder. Is that right side up? Yeah, it is. I think what you want is welder. It's a little bit gummier, much like the Tiny Whoop frames. I think CA is going to be a little bit too stiff. So yeah, my suggestion would be to get welder. There should be a link down below in the description to welder on Amazon. Guillermo says, where do I buy that Mobula 6 crystal canopy? I don't know what that is, Guillermo. What's a Mobula 6 crystal canopy? I've never heard of that before. DQ says, have you seen Chris Rosser's new AOS 5 frame? I have. I saw it a couple months ago when he was working on the prototype of it, and him and I were talking a lot on Discord. I did see a thumbnail today of a video, but I just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I've had a busy day. Had talk therapy today, and then afterwards I went to downtown Alpharetta. Alpharetta is the town that I live in. After therapy, I'm trying to go downtown and just kind of walk around and just meet other human beings here on Earth. So yeah, I didn't have a ton of time to get caught up on YouTube today, but I am looking forward to watching that. I watch everything that Chris puts up. Zach Lothamer says, I know I'm just super impatient. It's also my very first FPV drone ever, so extra excited. Yeah, Zach, get used to it. Every time you order anything, you're going to be FPV related, you're going to be freaking the fuck out. It's just the way it is, man. Guillermo says, it's the one you have on the table. It's not clear plastic. So on the table here, these are all newbie drone. This is all newbie drone stuff. This is the newbie drone Goober canopy that you can get from their website. I really dig these Goober canopies, mainly because you can run these Insta360 Go TPU printed bunny ear things on it and carry an Insta360 Go around. Sly Robocop Gaming says, I'm close to getting the FPV goggles V2. Very cool. And we're caught up on chat. Look at us go. Let's get to work, damn it. Let's fix this 65 mil rig first. This thing got absolutely abused at Rampage at the Micro Mayhem area. With these 25,000 kV motors, it was just an absolute riot in that area, man. I was really wishing that I had like 2 or 3 more of these identical builds for flying in that area. It was this was like just the right amount of power. It was just nimble enough. It didn't have any momentum, which was huge because there was just a million things to hit in the area. Really, really, really good. for next year, I'm gonna have a whole goddamn fleet, I think, of tiny whoops ready to go for the Micro Mayhem area. Or I mean, I keep saying next year as if there's definitely going to be a Rampage next year. I mean, I certainly hope that there's going to be, but I mean, it's a really hard event to put on, so I mean, there's a chance that there'll never be another one. I kind of thought after the first one that there wasn't going to be another one. Huge props to Rotor Riot for doing another one, because it's, I mean, I'm gonna be real honest here, it's kind of a fucking nightmare. They don't make any money from it, and it's kind of a nightmare of an event to put on and host. So you might hate Rotor Riot, but you should give them some props for hosting the only freestyle event that we have access to, because my God, is it a lot of work. And you know, when they're not making any money from it, so it's work that's, you know, literally kind of like for us, right? So I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to necessarily let this canopy flop all around, but the receiver is double-sided taped. We're gonna be fine. I'm just gonna let the canopy flop around for a minute. Yeah, big shout out to Rotor Riot for putting this event on. My God, it's a very tricky thing to do, and they get a lot of shit for it too, right? Like, I mean, of course they get a lot of compliments and whatnot, but they also get a lot of shit for putting on an event like this, right? Oh, I couldn't fly more. Oh, it's so expensive. It's like, okay, I don't know. Maybe don't bitch and moan about like something that doesn't exist otherwise, right? Like if there were 20 different freestyle events to choose from, then like, you know, I can kind of maybe see giving them shit, but there aren't any other ones to choose from. So like whatever they do is kind of amazing because nobody else has been able to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of sort of understand why some people give Rotor Riot shit, but I don't know. It really seems unwarranted in a lot of cases, and I think people should kind of be a little bit more appreciative of the fact that they even exist and what they do for the hobby. But hey, that's just me. I'm you know, just one person. You're allowed to have an opinion that's different than mine, and typically you guys will. So let's get these motor screws out here. What's going on over in chat? Word FPV says, got my first Acon ESC coming and I'm excited. Acon Oju for at least $1 right now. Yeah, I wish I could get in as like a sponsored pilot with Acon, but they don't do any marketing, man. They spend no money on marketing. They seem to spend all their time and money just making a really good product. And to be honest, I'm willing to pay extra for that. Like, if they charged another $20 for all their stuff, I would still pay it. Because, yeah, it just performs better than anything else I've found by, like, a ridiculous amount. T-Bird says, Rampage was controlled chaos. I think Stacy did a great job. She did, man. Stacy did an amazing job. Stacy is Bubby's mom, and she's an event planner. And, yeah, she just did great. She put on one hell of an event, and I think most people had an absolute blast. I mean, all the people that I interacted with were having a really, really good time. So, and they all, most of them paid a lot of money to be there, so that's kind of a big deal. Alright, we've almost got these motors off here. These motors are, of course, soldered directly to the goddamn AIO board, because Newbie Drone, in their infinite wisdom, decided to go with a different motor plug on their AIOs, which is just absolutely maddening. Although, all that being said, it's the only thing about their AIO that's not absolutely incredible. Like, they got everything else right on their Tiny Whoop AIOs. They're 1S or 2S compatible. They have 100 milliwatt VTX. What else? They give you a handy under the table sometimes. They're just terrific, man. They're so good. But they used a sort of, it's not really a proprietary plug, but it's a plug that nobody else uses. So for all intents and purposes, not intensive, that doesn't make any sense. For all intents and purposes, they used a proprietary plug, right? Because, you know, nobody else is using it, so it may as well be proprietary. But, you know, no buts. It really frustrates me that they did that. But hey, we can't have it all, right? We can't have it all. What I technically could have done is cut these motor wires halfway and then wire to wire soldered on the smaller plugs, which sometimes I kind of wish that I had done, but doing that, you run the, like, I always try to avoid going motor to motor like that. I don't know why I'm trying to save this frame. I can just demolish this frame. It's ruined already. To make it easier to get these motors out. There we go. So yeah, here's where this frame failed. I just smacked it face first into metal poles 20 too many times, and the front of the duct just kind of blew up. I mean, the amount of punishment that I was throwing at this thing, I was shocked that it didn't break earlier than it did. So, oh yeah, you heard it right, License. You heard it right. Me too, Ryan. Me too. QuadMods FPV is inspired by me. I streamed the Modulus 6 frame swap on Reddit, or short circuit, then the goggles while flying. Very cool, QuadMods. Did you have a good time with it? Some people really kind of take to streaming. Others don't. I don't necessarily think that I took to it per se, but I just kind of forced myself to do it. And then before I knew it, I'd done it a whole bunch. And then I just kind of kept going. And here we are today. Kind of crazy. Let me see if I have another one of these. I sure do. Black frames. I'm tempted to switch over to the clear Newbie Drone Cockroach 65 frame because it's a little bit stronger. Clear plastic is clear, and then in order to colorize it, you have to put additives into it. And by putting additives into it, you're taking away from the amount of plastic that's in there. So inherently, any color other than clear in plastic is going to be a little bit weaker. You could argue that it's negligible and it makes no difference, but you know, it's there are people that will argue to the death that it's not negligible and that they can tell a difference. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not going to necessarily say that I can or can't tell a difference, but it's a thing that you can think about. So I lost one of the little rubber fellas. So let me... Oh man, I gotta get all this shit out of the way to grab another one of these little rubber boogers. Alright, hold on. Hold on. I gotta do a little digging. Stand by, chat. Stand by. Makes me sound official. Standing by. Ooh, there's a clear one. Didn't even know that was there. Alright, you get out of the way here. Oh man, I got a couple clear ones in here. Forgot about these. I got so many rigs that need to be built. Jesus. Okay, so a couple clear ones here. It's not really what I'm looking for though. My philosophy on the black frame is that it's better for like kind of cinematic-ish stuff. The clear frame So when you put an Insta360 Go on the top of these little guys, when you add a bunch of roll, you can add enough roll where the frame comes into view in the bottom corners, and the clear frame is a lot more obnoxious than the black frame when it comes into view. The black frame, when it comes into view, maybe it's just a rock or something on the ground, right? The clear frame, when it comes into view, it's like bright white plastic. So yeah, I'm doing the black frames, the black cockroach frames here, from that cinematic standpoint. What's up, Chris Mel? BeepTube says, my clear newbie drones quads have been unbreakable. Yeah, mine have been too. I've never broken one of the clear cockroach frames. I've only broken one of the black ones. Two of the black ones now, I guess. What's up, Double A? How are you, man? Jackalope says, is FPV Mom is single? Asking for a friend. Absolutely no idea. Freelo Joe says, my Meteor 75 flew back with one motor basically flopping around. Good lord. Steve-O says, clear cockroach frames are great. They turn green from the grass stains. Here's how you fix that, Steve-O. Take a Q-tip, put it in rubbing alcohol, and rub it around the inside of the frame, and they'll go right back to clear. I forget who taught me that. I think it was P. Richard Scott, Patrick. One of my best friends. I just got beer on myself. First time drinking. You guys are seeing it here tonight. Alright, here we go. More work. Should I get a clear mat? I could get a... sometimes I feel like the grid on this mat makes it harder for you guys to see what the hell I'm doing. And I've had the thought before that maybe I'll get a solidly colored mat. Know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm actually going to grab 4 matching little rubber guys here. And I'm just going to replace all the little rubber fellas. I always like to make sure that I'm using the same manufacturer little rubber grommets here, because different manufacturers will use different durometers, different hardnesses of rubber, and you don't really want that. You want to make sure that all 4 grommets are the exact same squishiness. If you have different squishinesses, one grommet can cause one frequency of vibration, another can cause a different frequency of vibration, and yeah, you can have like weird harmonic shit going on, and you don't want that. So I can't really tell. Well, I could just take one of these off and take a look at it. Yeah, so alright, this looks like it's the same grommet as these 4. So I lied. All I needed to do is take one off and look at it. I'm just going to use these guys. It's going to be fine. We going to be alright. Although you could argue that it makes sense to use fresh ones, because these ones that have been in here are going to be a little bit weaker, basically, because they've been in there jiggling around for a while. And, you know, when you compress rubber over and over and over and over and over again, it gets a little looser. It doesn't get, well, yeah, it does get looser. It degrades, basically, right? So technically, I probably should put a fresh set in here, but I'm not gonna. Okay, we got the back one on there. Oh, I lost the antenna on this thing too. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, it looks like the antenna popped off. That's funny. Okay, so we got our 4 little rubber grommets back on the AIO here. Now we just need to fish the motors and the battery plug through the new frame here. And I just need to think for 1 second about what's the front, what's the back, what's the left, what's the right. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. Alright, so now let's fish these motors through the little holes here. The way to do that is to point the motor shaft inwards, basically. Man, this is tough. This is tough to do. Everything with whoops is tough to do. Everything is so small, and that's what she said. Fiddly, and still what she said. Okay, so... there we go. Come on now. Come on, little buddy. Get up in there. Get up in there, little friend. Wait, let's get this guy out of the way. He looks like he's trying to... Nope. Okay, what about this little friend? Is he ready to go through the little tiny hole? Oh my god. Come on now. Yay! There's one. Alright, cool. 1 down, 3 to go. This is the big pain in the ass about having to direct solder the motors to these AIOs, is that these motors barely fit through this little space that they need to fit through once you've soldered them down, and desoldering them from the AIO is just not going to happen. That is just not an option. Because then you need to solder them while they're threaded through like this, and that's just a really challenging, really annoying job. Because everything's in the way. You gotta like kind of half-ass the wires through, and then like it just sucks. So yeah, newbie drone, please, 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 if you make another AIO, if you make a V3 AIO board, for Christ's sakes, please make it regular plugs. I know that they won't, because all of their brushless motors are on these proprietary plugs, so like, yeah, I'm sure that they won't, but for fuck's sake, please do it. I swear to God, more people will buy your AIO. I will personally make sure that more people buy your AIOs if you make them regular plugged. Mainly because I'll be able to fly them more and make more content with them, and the content that I'm going to be making with these tiny whoops is going to blow people's fucking tits off. So, yeah. Trust me. I guess. Alright, so I got those motors through. Now let's get this dropped down on the posts. Post it up here. There we go, almost. There we go. Now it's sitting down nicely. Oh, nope, not yet. Almost. Whoop. Nope. Come on. Come on, little buddy. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 are now down and flat. Let me put 1 screw in just to hold this canopy so that it stops flopping around, because it's not great for wires to have them constantly bending back and forth and back and forth. I also need to remember that I'm not going to put this all the way in. I'm just going to loosely tighten it, because I do need to get in there and put a new VTX antenna on. So now we're going to get these motors into their right little places here in each duct. Okay. There's 2. There's 3. What's up over there in the chat? FPV Trucker saying what's up. He's not into whoops. That's okay. License to Drive says Alicia will have to take a taxi home. Or is it all Uber now? I think it is all Uber now, yeah. Brandon's Bean says, drinking the Rota? Indeed. I'm now immune to it, so I'm good. Hopefully. Droidy Droid says, I'm still 20 minutes behind, but why don't you be less sad? My cousin would say, why can't you just be more awesome? Look at me, I'm awesome. Just be more awesome, if only. Yeah, it's so true. So true. What's up, Carbon Cage? Standing upside down, defying gravity, or exemplifying gravity. Depends on how you look at it. Depends on if you're an anti-vaxxer or not. Don't be an anti-vaxxer. Nobody likes that. Where's the... There it is. Alright, so let's get these motors screwed on, and we will wrap up this little 65 mil repair. I'll even give you guys a little single maybe. I don't know if I have any charged. If I have a battery charge that'll go on here, I'll give you guys a little flight from this thing. I would actually really like to do that, because people that haven't seen this thing fly are often absolutely like shocked at the power to weight ratio we have available to us with 65 mil tiny whoops nowadays. It's really absurd, man. This thing properly dialed in is a real weapon, and it's a real blast to fly. If you haven't flown a properly cranked up brushless whoop, you are missing out, man. Get yourself a Mobula 6 with the 25,000 kV motors, and yeah, you can get in on the fun. And it is just that. It is fun. Alright, so I got a little motor wire situation here. Come on. Why are you all boogered up, buddy? Get out of there. Get down from there. There we go. Okay, cool. That's better. Had a motor wire that was stuck in between the frame and the AIO. That's the kind of thing you got to really look for. That would have been a nightmare. The tune would have been all fucked up, because the AIO would not have been able to kind of float. On the tiny whoops here, since the motor wires are so small and the battery leads are so small, we don't have the issues that toothpicks with AIOs have, in that with a toothpick the motor wires are much thicker and the battery lead is much thicker as well, and that really holds the AIO in place, and it doesn't allow it to kind of free float and absorb a lot of the vibrations. So on a tiny whoop you can actually get really good flight performance if you have a proper frame, if you have a proper AIO with good filtering and a good gyro on it. It's pretty wild, man. The PID values that I get away with on these little tiny whoops is pretty gnarly. P's and D's up in like the 90s and hundreds and shit. It's crazy. Okay, third motor going on here. And let's get this first screw started. Guillermo says you need to start flying micros again. No one is doing it. This is going to be the summer of micros for me, so you're going to see a lot of that, Guillermo. If you rewind back to the beginning of the stream, you're going to see a really good rip with one of my rip squeaks from a couple days ago. All right. One more screw here, and we can move on to the final motor, the final countdown to 65 millimeter tiny whoop glory. Realistically, what I've built here is a Newbie Drone Acro B brushless with 0802 25,000 kV heavy model motors. Oh, by the way, if you're in the market for anything over on Newbie Drone's website, now is the time. Their current pricing is valid until midnight. At midnight, they will be raising all of their prices since all of their costs are going up. You're going to start to see this from all FPV manufacturers. So if you have the money, now's a good time to stock up on stuff for the next couple of years, more than likely, products coming out of China are going to be a lot more expensive. After effects of the pandemic and some effects of the chip shortage and shit like that. So now's the time, boys and girls. Spend that Christmas money that you've been hoarding. Brandon Bean says, 23andMe says, all my blood is Liberian. All of it? Oh. My phone just made a noise I haven't really heard before. What's that mean? I'm curious. It's caught my curiosity. Ah, that's cool of her. Oh, oh, oh. Cool. Steve-O says 12 a.m. where? If you're asking me where it's 12 a.m. right now, my guess would be Europe somewhere. It's 9:45 here in Eastern Time Zone. Zach Lothamer says, what 1S, 2S batteries do you recommend for whoops? I don't recommend 2S. For 1S, the only choice is the Newbie Drone Golds. In 250 and or in 300. Yes, they're expensive, but my God, are they worth it? They just outperform every single other battery in every single possible way. They are really, really amazing. And then if for some reason you want to run 2S, you can just get the little plug header that hooks two of these up, and that's going to be your best bet for 2S. Alright, yeah, I don't have any of those that are charged, but I do have batteries on the charger here, so I can possibly throw that little 250 on real quick, see if we can get some voltage into it, and then maybe I'll give you guys a little 65 millimeter whoop house tour. 4.31. Cool. So this is one of the batteries. I've got 6 batteries that we're going to use in this T-Motor 0802 and 0803 motor testing that we're going to do very soon, because I'm almost done with the repair here. I just need to get an antenna on there and throw another couple screws in the canopy and throw the propellers on. So let me look for a little tiny lightweight antenna. That's the one. Cool. So we're just going to use a little dipole here. I could maybe use this little micro. Let me see what the weight difference is between this tiny little axis and a little whip antenna. So the little tiny whip antenna is going to come in at no grams. It's infinitely light. So coming in at, it was at half a gram. Well, let's do this. The scale has a hard time with things that are super, super light, but if you weight it down a little bit, then it does a little bit better. So 0.4 grams, let's push on the scale to get the numbers to go up, and then the numbers will come back down. So now it settles back down to 0.5. So let's say it's 0.45 of a gram, and then the axis, or not the axis, the singularity. Oh, wow. Wow, that is light. 1.0. All right, I'm actually going to use this little guy. $20 antenna. But you know what? They perform stupidly well. And for an extra half a gram, that's kind of worth it. I'm kind of down with that. I'm not going to prep this antenna like I usually do, because it's just never going to go fast enough to generate enough impact to break the head of the antenna off. So, damn, I'm glad I had this in the box. Now I got to order another one. That was my spare that I was kind of hoarding. But that's okay. This thing will get really, really good signal having the the CP antenna rather than the stupid little whip antenna. So, alright, cool. Let's get this guy plugged in. And, well, no. So we got to route it through the canopy first. And then we're going to plug it in. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So let me actually do this. Let me put a little bit of a bend in the wire right at the base here. And that's just going to help it sit down on the actual plug. I usually like to put a little bit of, yeah, let me do that too. I like to put a tiny little bit of shrink wrap there at the base of the UFL connector. I probably don't need to with this build, but it ain't gonna hurt. And I do have a couple of really tiny little bits of shrimp. Remember when I used to call it shrimp wrap? I'm bringing it back. I'm going to call it shrimp wrap from now on. Again, actually, no, I'm going to do it right now, and then I'm going to forget. A little bit of a little tiny piece of shrimp wrap here. I'm actually going to cut this ever so slightly down. So I'm going to do my little trick of stretching the shrimp wrap. God, I forgot how fun it is to call it shrimp wrap. So if you just put it in your little pliers, you can ever so slightly stretch shrimp wrap out, and then when you get it hot again, it's going to shrimp back down to where it would have been anyway. So there we go. We've got our freshly shrunken down, stretched and then shrunken back down shrimp wrap. EEDoc says the new ELRS Happy Model AIOs look awesome. They actually have a UFL for the antenna instead of just the solder joint like the previous ones. That's pretty awesome. That's a really good news. BH says, what motors do you recommend for an 85mm Roop carrying a naked GoPro? Kind of depends on the all-up weight, BH, but off the top of my head, my guess is going to be that you're going to want to be like the 1304 kind of world. Maybe like a 1204. 1204 or a 1304 are probably going to be a really good bet for you. So now we get to see if the thickness of the shrimp wrap is too much here. Let me just get it hot again real quick, and I'm just going to clamp down on the shrimp wrap to make sure that it's as flat as possible. Alright, so let's see how I did. The test is basically going to be, will it plug in, or does the shrimp wrap prevent that from happening? So here we go, and pushing down. Hopefully we get a little snap. Not yet. Let's see. Come on. Nope. Hold on. I think it should. There's a little clear spot. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so that's good to go. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of welder on there just to kind of hold that guy on. Give it a little bit of positive stiction. I don't know if that's a real word, but it is now. So we're just going to go like this and just give it a little bloop. And then just kind of wrap it around. And give it another tiny little bloop on the other side. And a little bloop. Okay, cool. Try not to get it on the duct. And there we go. Do I have a little toothpick or something I can use to just poke at this? No, not really? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, so the canopy goes... No, you know, I need to poke and prod at this a little bit. Yeah, I do have a little toothpick. Okay. So I'm just going to push this shit down a little bit just to make sure it sticks to the board, and then up to the UFL. There we go. Cool. That was easy. Let me just wipe this. WordFPV says, how do you have your 360 mount there? WordFPV, this Insta360 Go mount is made by Newbie Drone. I think they call it the bunny ears. And it's got a couple of screws that go up through their canopy into the top of itself. Kind of hard to see it, but the screws are blue. See the little blue threads peeking up? Yeah, there's just screws on the inside. Yeah, it's really hard to show you, but if you buy it, it's kind of self-explanatory, and you should buy it. It's the best way to mount an Insta360. It's the best location to mount an Insta360 Go on a tiny whoop. You can mount them below, but they really negatively affect the flight characteristics because all the weight is below the prop line anyway. So then putting an Insta360 Go down there just makes the situation even worse. This is really absolutely the right spot to put an Insta360 Go. Dalton actually designed this, and man, he did such a good job. He just absolutely hit a home run with this Insta360 Go mount. It's really, really good. Alright, so here we go. We're just going to throw these canopy screws on here, and then we'll throw some props on, and we'll be good to go. Rear canopy screw is in. I did lose one of the screws in the crash that killed the frame, so I need to dig through the box here and look for a replacement. The one that I'm looking for is not sharp on the end. And it's a little bit longer than the ones that are sharp on the end. Hopefully I have more of that screw. But, oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. I think this is the right one, right? Yes. Okay, great. So, we got that. Let's put these last two screws in here. Guillermo claims he's going to steal all my little boxes. What little boxes are you referring to, Guillermo? Oh, those little guys? Yeah, those are all from stuff that I've bought over the years. Whenever I buy something and it comes in a plastic box, I just keep it and try to reuse it, because plastic don't biodegrade. It sticks around forever, and that's a real problem that we've created, which has happened in my lifetime, which kind of sucks, man. We're gonna have to figure something out with all this goddamn plastic, like, and it's probably not gonna be pretty. Alright, so that screw is looking good. It's pushing that bushing down so that the back is even with the bottom. Alright, so we can crank this one down a little bit more. Bottom is even, okay. Bottom is even. And this one we can crank down a little bit more as well, until the bottom is even with the frame. There we go. That's it, man. This thing is so... Once it's all together, this thing is like really tight. It's a really tight little package. That's what she said. Let's go red props in front. What? No, actually, since I pounded on these motors so bad, I'm going to spin these motors up in beta flight to see if I can tell if there's any weirdness with them. Let me just eject this memory card. Yarbs just got a boatload of those dirt cheap Lipo King batteries. Mentioned a while back, haven't flown any yet. Which ones are you talking about, Yarbs? I can't think of which which batteries you're speaking of at the moment. Alright, USB's plugged in. I need a charged well, it doesn't really have to be that charged. Will help though. I'll take, no, I don't want to take this 450. I'm gonna take this nitro nectar off, and I'm gonna use this for the time being. So we've got voltage to the rig. We're gonna launch beta flight. And we're going to go into the motors tab. All right, I understand the risks. Okay, cool. And now I'm going to have to really like use my spidey senses. No, there's like no vibrations at all. There's nothing to feel. Oh, that's not true. I can feel that this one is worse. But the front ones aren't worse, which is interesting. Huh. Yeah, motor 3 is definitely less balanced. Interesting. So one of the things with these tiny little motors is that they don't get balanced at the factory. The factory says that they can't be precise enough with the balancing mud to balance these little tiny motors. So yeah, out of the box, technically speaking, what we should be doing with these tiny little motors is buying 2 sets of them, hooking up one set, doing that little test that I just did, and then hooking up, figuring out which ones spin the cleanest, which ones are the best balanced, and then doing another test to find the best balance from the second set, and then using all the best balanced of those motors. But in this case, the motors have to be direct soldered, so that didn't happen. And that's all I'm going to say about that before I start screaming and shouting. Like I usually do. Alright, we got a little bit of prop on motor action happening here. We got some red up front, and then we're going to do purple in the back. Because, you know, party in the back, right? Purple, party, Barney, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, there's a purple, and one more purple. So now we can kind of do that same test to check the propellers too, to make sure that none of these propellers have been banged to the point where they're out of balance. So let me do that really, really quick here. Can't really do this test with any other size rig because it'll take off and chop your fucking hands off. So don't try this at home. Oh wow, that one feels horrible. Wow, yeah, motor. The hell's going on there? Wow. Motor 1 propeller is wrecked. 2 is fine. 3's not great. 4's okay. Hold on, let me check something. Let me hold it from a different spot. 3's fine. Even 2 is... Yeah, I had it kind of... I was kind of holding it against the table. I can't do that. Hold on. Let me hold this thing a little bit better down by my side. All right, let's check them again. Now, 1 is terrible. Yeah, 1 really needs... The propeller in motor 1 is very obviously wrecked. And 4. 4 doesn't feel... 4's not great either. Okay, 1 and 4. We're going to swap those propellers out. That was a really good test. I almost didn't do that test because the propellers look fine. You know what? I'm just going to put a fresh... no. 1 and 4. I'm going to swap 1 and 4 out. And let me put this battery back on the charger so that hopefully we get enough juice into it. All right. Do I have an extra set of props in here? I do. 1 and 4. So 4 is a high right purple. Got one of those right here. And it looks to be fresh. 4 is a high right red. High right red. Yeah, no, I said that right. High right red. Right red. Where do I really not have any extras of these? Come on now, really? That can't be. Are they mixed in here? They're probably mixed in here. Look at that beer bottle. Look at that big old beer bottle up in your guys' faces. High right red. Right red. Wow, no, I don't. I don't have any extras. Where the hell did they go? What? No. Come on. Where? No. Come on. What? What? How did I do the goddamn tap? Oh, there they are. There they are. Okay. There they are. Got them. I've been drinking. That's the problem. These are 40s. We don't need these. Hey, here we go. So I need a high right red. Still feels funny to say that. High right red. Come on. Right side high. There we go. All right. Got that. Put these guys away. And away. And I'm actually going to throw these other ones away because they're garbage. I'm not going to try to straighten blades out on a tiny whoop propeller. That is a fool's errand, as they say. I think they say that. Don't they say that? Does anybody say that? Maybe. Come on! Get up off of there. Get up off of there. You jerk. Get out of there. Jesus, it's fighting me. Come on. There we go. Alright, motor 4. Motor 1. Getting fresh propellers since these are very vibey. Yeah, okay. You two little guys are garbage. Yeah, you can tell they've been kind of beaten on. Cool. License to Drive says, what's a good weight for a toothpick canopy and what's a and what's a bad weight? I have no clue, License. I built a toothpick and it didn't work, and then I just said to hell with it. I think toothpicks are way too lightweight as it is. So yeah, it's just really not my thing. So for toothpicks, I always recommend you just go with whatever Rugi has spec'd out. Bob has done all the hard work for you. Take advantage of that, and whatever stuff he has spec'd out, just go with that. He's really the only guy that's tested it all, and he's a good pilot. He has access to good stuff. He's the guy that you kind of want to be listening to. So take advantage of that. And yeah, he doesn't. What I think nobody seems to understand about FPV Cycle is that he doesn't make money off of that website. He sells everything at cost. He has there's no reason for him to not recommend the best possible stuff because he's not financially tied to anything. And that's pretty unique. So unless, like, I mean, unless you think that Bob is a bad pilot, right, and that you're much better than him. Not saying this about you, but just in general, right? Like, the only reason to not believe what Bob is specking out is if you think he's a bad pilot and you're so much better of a pilot than him, which, you know, maybe that's fair. But even if you do, he's still a good pilot, whether you like it or not. Steve-O says, did you get high with Bot? I mean, you kind of get a contact high with Bot, so it's kind of hard not to. I'll leave it at that. Let's let this guy hang out. Yeah, let's let him stand up all proud like. So there we go. All back together. I'm tempted to check these two propellers. I'll check them. Wait, no. Let me get the screen set up real quick. Droidy Druid says, anyone else thinks Ciotti should invest in a quality dab rig? Streamer will really be off the rails then. I mean, how do you know I don't already have one? Droidy Droid says, had always assumed CiottiFPV was terp free. I will quote one of my favorite movies. You guys gotta call out the movie. Assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups. What movie, boys and girls? What movie? All right. Yeah. All right, so the screen is here. So I'm going to be not lazy this time, and I'm going to set the screen up for you guys so that you can see what the hell I'm doing. Come on. Wow. Okay. Apparently I was angry when I tightened this. Jesus. Metal, I think you're right. I'm hoping that more than one person calls the movie. It's probably in a bunch of movies. That's kind of a saying that's been used before. June Loco, what's up? There we go. Jesus. What the hell? Okay. Here's the monitor, which was sent to me by by Billy. I almost said Super Deluxe. A long time ago, actually, he sent me this, which is very cool of him. Okay. Flashdance. Jesus Christ. Alright, plugging in the little 3S battery here. Let's get it velcroed to the back real quick so that it doesn't go anywhere. There we go. Okay, cool. What's up, Adam FPV? How are you? Let me get some goggles out. Let me get my transmitter out. And we'll go for a little test rip with the 65 mil so that you guys can see how ridiculous it is with the 25,000 kV motors, because nobody ever believes me. And then people see it fly and they're like, what the fuck? And I just sit there grinning. Because I've known all along how amazing it is. Alright, so let's get to the newbie drone Whoop model here. Battery is not all the way charged, but hopefully it's charged enough. Get that plugged back in there. So this is a newbie drone Gold 250. And what is it? Slot on bottom, slot on bottom. So yeah, this is like the lightest weight, highest performance battery. So I mean, like this in its current setup, like this is maximum attack, maximum performance mode. So let me get this guy plugged in real quick here, and then I'll try to find the channel. I think it's supposed to be up on like 28 or 38 or some shit. I think it's 38. Let's see. It's on B. I don't think it's supposed to be on B. I think it's supposed to be on A. That's not it. Is there a 39? There is a 39. Nothing? What about B? B is for bullshit, but this bullshit is good bullshit. Oh man, I gotta rack focus here real quick. And okay. Okay. Let's go. Come on, damn it. Man, I keep cranking this thing really tight. Alright. Alright, let me move the laptop back a little bit. Get out of the way, goat. Alright, there you guys go. Wow, it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna leave it like that. That's the best it's ever looked. Oh! Okay. Let's see how it be. So this is without the Insta360 Go. With the Insta360 Go, it flies a lot like a Cinewhoop. I haven't taken you guys for a little tour. Look how fast this thing is, all right? Just first and foremost, look at the speed. I haven't taken you guys for a tour in a while. Oh God. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I also haven't flown this in a minute. Here's the sim rig for anybody that's been following along with my sim racing nonsense. I've never flown around the sim rig before. Whoop. The kitten's probably in here. No, he's not. I wonder where he is. Let's get ahead of steam. Oh! Oh boy. So that bookshelf has not been there until recently. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're fine. Yeah. So that's a new obstacle. That foam there, that foam is going to go on the wall. I'm just being lazy about putting it up. To hopefully kill a little bit of the echo in here. But, like, look at this thing, man. Look at it freaking boogie around in here. And this is in, like, full acro mode. Oh boy, that was the ceiling. Oh, I landed in the sim rig. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Don't make me... No, come on. Just... Oh, no. Alright, hold on. Okay. Alright, so let me get a little bit more nutty here for you guys. And we'll try to do some big stuff. Woo! It's so cool. It just fucking stops, man. Like, with the power that it's got and the just unbelievable lack of weight, it's you can really just stop the damn thing at a moment's notice. Oh, come on. Woo! Now we're getting into it. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is really small in here. It's got a lot of power for in here. Oh, farts. Get another little throw. Look at that big off-throttle throw. Come on now, ready? Ooh. So it's got those bunny ears up on top, which when you hit the top of it, it doesn't, like without the bunny ears, when you hit the top, it doesn't have such a little angry reaction. Let's see where we're at voltage-wise. 3.2, nah, we're fine. Oh yeah, now we're kind of coming down. So there you guys go. Woo! Right into the dirt that battery goes. So that's it, man. You can't tell me you don't want that in your life. And if you do, you're a goddamn liar. Oh shit. Maddie the sim rig to show it who's boss. Yeah, right. I got a Maddie flip for you guys. Alright, hold on, let me fix the focus on the DSLR real quick. If you're not on my Instagram, you won't have seen this. So, you know, there's an easy solution to that. All right, that's about right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. Power loop the cat. I don't even know where he is. Look at this. Look at this for a, look at this for a Maddie. Oh, hi, buddy. Hi. Hold on, I got you guys. I got you guys. I got you guys. Pitch forward, gang. Here we come. Ready? What do you think about that? You want it again? I know you want it again. Wow. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. That was a fun one. That was at Stables the other day. That was super cool. All right, so the 65 is good. Now we are going to test these T-Motor prototype 0802 and 0803, 22,000. They're both 22,000 kV. And we're also going to do a little bit of myth busting, and we're going to see how a 1.6 inch, that's the propeller diameter on a 75 millimeter tiny whoop, we're going to see how that does on an 0802 versus an 0803, which is going to be really good info. Guillermo is hellbent on seeing these motors. So this is the prototype motors never look the way that the final product is going to be. So don't expect the final product to look like this, but this is what they look like at the moment. Little 5-spoke bell design, nothing too fancy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Jason Crabtree says, why the peak FFT in the OSD? I probably forgot to turn it off, to be honest with you. So, 65 mil whoop is back together. Happy days are here again on that one. We're gonna put him away. Yes, it's a he. I don't know why. And we're gonna bust out the two test bed 75 mil cockroach whoops, which are, yeah, identical. These are identically built. You can see I was doing a little bit of testing with propellers here. We are going to. Oh, you know, it's funny. I already did this myth bust testing. These are 0802s on here already. But the KV is not the same, so this was not really a fair test. So this myth busting we're going to do here tonight has a lot of value. And also, T-Motor's asking me for feedback on these motors, so I'm going to be able to give them feedback after tonight, which will be really good. So first thing we're going to do is remove all of our propellers, and then we're going to pop all these motors off. I'm going to have to grab the... I'm going to grab the... Oh, the second set of adapters that I made. I gotta find them. I don't know where the hell they are. Wait, no, I just saw them. I have some idea of where they are. So yeah, we're gonna plug the second set of adapters here into this one that I'm cranking on right now. The only difference between these two rigs is this one that I'm cranking on right now has the double pH 2.0, So technically speaking, there's going to be a little tiny bit of extra resistance on this rig. But I don't know. Nothing I can really do about that. I'm not going to pull this thing all the way apart and put a 1S battery connector on it. That's just not what's going to happen here tonight. Come on, man, get off of there. Why is this one prop being such a jackass? Get out of there. Get off of there, bro. Jesus. Don't make me cut you. There we go. Wow, that was quite stubborn. Okay, cool. So, yeah, this thing didn't fly all that well on the 0802s, which makes sense. The 0802s seem to be definitely optimized for the 65 millimeter motor-to-motor whoops, which run 1.2-inch propellers. All right, now we're gonna get the props off of this little fella here. This guy with the 1102s flew really nice. These are the Beta FPV 1102 18,000s. I feel like I could have used a little bit more KV maybe, or it could be because of these connectors adding a bunch of extra resistance. So once all of this whoop testing is kind of wrapped up, I am going to direct solder probably these 1102s, these Beta FPV 1102s up to one of these guys. And maybe a set of 1103s? I don't know, we'll see. I like the idea of having one of these 75s that makes a little bit more horsepower. I mean, it'll definitely make more power because it's going to be on 2S instead of 1S. Because none of the 1103s are a high enough KV to run on 1S. But yeah, it'll be a good comparison. So there we go with that. CH3FPV says put those on the scale. Good idea. Hey, there's Dalton. Dalt's is in the house. How am I cheating on you? I was actually just talking about you, Dalton. I was saying how good of a job you did on the bunny ears mount. Okay, so we've got our 4 blades. We're not going to run these 3 blades again. For these 4 blades, so let me remove these Newbie Drone 0802s and put them in the bin. Who gets that reference? Any car guys get that reference? All right. Let's get physical. Physical. Wait, what? No, I'm sorry. You guys didn't deserve that. That was terrible. Come on off of there. Getting some batteries unplugged here from this little USB charger. So these are going to be all the batteries that we test on. I've got 4 of these Ovonics, so we'll be able to do oh, for fuck's sake. So we'll be able to do head-to-heads with those. And I've got 2 and 2 of these NFG and FAF batteries here as well. So we've got a bunch of batteries that we can do a little bit of head-to-heading here on tonight. That's what she said. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? No, I'm not right. Hey, right, 9 got it. Alright, so here's the other batteries that we're just going to kind of throw on here to test. I'm not going to test with these RDQ batteries because one of them is a 525 and the other one is a 450. That would not be a fair test. But I do have these 2 500 FAF Talons, 1 and 2, that we can also use in our testing. But first, we need to get the motors swapped over. But even before we do that, we're going to weigh the motors. Because CH3FPV is a smart motherfucker. So first up is the 0802. And that little fella. Well, so let me do this. Let me grab another couple motors, another couple 0802s, and we can actually get some. Yeah, we can get some comparisons going. So it looks like this T-Motor 0802 is 2 grams. Now I'm going to take a Beta FPV, something or other. What size is this? Oh, this is an 1103, isn't it? I'm sorry, this is an 0803, isn't it? So this is an 08028. 0802.8. So basically an 0803, let's be honest. So 2 grams for an 0802 from T-Motor. Wow. Are you kidding me? 2.2 grams for an 08028 from Beta FPV. Now I'm going to check the T-Motor 0803. T-Motor 0803 is 2.4 grams. Interesting. So on the surface, it seems like the Beta FPV 08028 is a little light for its size, which is kind of good. But, I mean, 0.2, well, yeah, no, with 4 motors, that adds up. 0.2 of a gram on each side, 0.8 of a gram total. That's a real weight savings. Tiny Whoop people have to be crazy about weight. So yeah, it looks like these T-Motor motors might be maybe a tiny little bit heavy. I doubt it though. I don't know. I bet you they just make more. I mean, it visibly looks like a taller stator than the. Where the hell is this? The 0803? Oh god, I got them all fucking mixed up now. Oh wow, no, that's not true. The T-Motor looks like it's smaller than the Beta FPV. Wow, that's crazy. So it looks like the Beta FPV motors are a little bit lighter. Oh, I see. So Beta FPV left more room above the stator. They just made the bell of the motor taller, but somehow the motor is still lighter. That's pretty impressive, huh? Interesting. All right, I'm not giving you guys much context with any of this. I do have a lot of these motors, but I've never really thought to check the weights on them. Probably should. It's probably a really good idea to check weights now. Somebody remind me to check weights on 0802s and I'll do it. Here's the problem. Here's why I never check weights on 0802s. The wires are always different lengths, and the wires are always different thicknesses. So and with these little tiny motors, these wires have a lot to do with the weight of the motor. These T-motors have noticeably thicker wires on them, and they look like they might be a little bit longer. No, they're not any longer, but they're definitely thicker. These wires here on the T-Motor are definitely thicker than these Beta FPV wires, and that right there could be the weight difference. We're talking about like 0.1 of a gram. So yeah, that's something to kind of keep in mind. So this is the 0803. I'm going to put this one away. We're going to do the 0802s first. I now have my painstakingly created little jib-jabs. Guillermo says 65mm 1S and 75mm 2S. No, we're going to do both of these on 75. These are both 75mm motor-to-motor frames, and we're going to test 1S versus 1S. Riot9 says, I hope you also watch the Skid Factories. The guys are from my state and friends with Mighty Carmods. Or is it the Skid or the Skinned Factory? I don't think I've I don't think I'm familiar with them. If it's the Skid Factory, I definitely don't know them. If it's the Skid Factory. Let me see real quick. No, I don't know the Skid Factory, but I'm now subscribed to them, and I will check them out for sure. Oh, it's, oh, yeah, that's, Tuning Fork's channel. That's right. Is his name Tuning Fork? I forget what his name is. I think I was actually subbed to them at one point. Jason Crabtree says, Devil's Advocate, wire or not, it's weight on the quad. 100%, Jason, 100%. I will not doubt that for even a second. Turbo Yoda, that's it. Good call. Good call, right? Turbo Yoda. Okay, let's get these motors off, and we will see what happens here. So, this rig is going to be at a little bit of a handicap. So, let me handicap the 0803s rather than handicapping the 0802s. I want to give the 0802s the most chance of proving themselves. So let's do this rig first. Let's pull this one apart first. Let me actually get these unplugged before I do anything else. Yeah, I want to give the 0802s the best chance of... No, I don't. No, I don't. I know that 0802 is not the right motor choice for a 75 mil whoop. I just, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I've been down this road before. So, yeah, let's do this guy first. We'll put the 0802s on this rig. It's not that much of a difference. It's just, this is there's an extra PH 2.0 connector in line here. It's not the end of the world. With the fact that we've got 8 connectors between the motors, that's where the majority of the resistance is coming from, and that's going to be the same on both of these rigs. So the little bit of extra resistance here at the battery is really not going to be a big deal. I mean, it could be like full-blown negligible. Really kind of hard to tell. I don't know how you would even tell that. So here we go! What are you guys building? Who's building tonight? Who's building right along with me? Anybody? If you are, what are you building? Let the chat know. They can critique your build and tell you you're an idiot. 80 people in here. Jesus. That's pretty good for a Wednesday night. Damn. Thanks, guys. Very, very cool of you. If you'd like me to keep going on this crazy FPV journey, jump on over to CiottiFPV.com, click some buttons, join the Patreon. Patreon is the biggest thing you can do to help me. It only costs you $3 a month. And man, it means so much to me that you guys are on that Patreon page. It really, really, really helps me out. And it just kind of lets me kind of give you guys private updates. Yeah, it gives me like one spot where I can kind of push out email notifications that'll hit all you guys at once. And then if I need to get in touch with you guys, it really helps with that as well. You got to keep in mind, like, when you guys message me on Facebook, I'm talking to you on your real name, and then, like, you'll message me on Discord, that's a different name. Here on YouTube, you probably have a different name. Patreon really helps me out because it's like the main name that I sort of know a lot of you guys by. And it just makes getting in touch with you a lot easier, to be totally honest. So there's the T-Motor 0802s. Looks like we're pretty good to go here. Let me get these ridiculous little adapters plugged in first. I think. Yeah. Get these guys plugged in first. Okay. There we go. License to drive switched his Mobula 6 over to the cockroach frame I got from you, gave it a quick test flight, and it was wobbling. Yeah, more than likely the Mobula 6 AIO is pushed up against a part of the cockroach frame. I'm only able to run newbie drone AIOs on the cockroach frames. All the other AIOs, because the newbie drone AIO is the only one that has any kind of a standard to the location of the motor plugs. So yeah, newbie drone is not the problem. Happy Model and Beta FPV are the problem because they've decided to go, oh no, we'll just change the frame design in the same way that newbie drone decides, oh, we're just going to change the goddamn plugs to be proprietary and only work with our motors. Maybe they said that. Maybe they had a better reason than that. It's all speculation. Beta FPV and Happy Model changed the connector layout on their AIOs so that you can only use their frames. If you use anybody else's frame, there will be physical plug headers pushing into a physical part of the frame, and then that'll transmit all the vibrations from the frame directly into the AIO, and then it will fly like a bag of shit. So yeah, unfortunately, that's more than likely what you're running into. I was not able to get the Happy Model AIOs to work worth a damn with the cockroach frames. It sucks, but you know, you gotta blame Happy Model. They're the idiots that decided to go against what the norm is when you place the motor connectors and you place some of the buttons on your Tiny Whoop AIO. So yeah, kind of a shitty situation, but that's life sometimes, I guess. All right, here we go with the first 0802. Let's get this little guy screwed in here. Okay, there we go. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, that's not quite lined up right. Jason Krebs, says, just saw the 500 Patreon goal. We got to get there. That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. I would love to do that goal. That would be very, very fun. Why is this not... why are you fighting me like this? Get in there. There we go. Okay, not much thread engagement on this. I got to be a little careful about that. No, we got enough. We got enough. That's fine. License to Drive says, I noticed the camera connector looked like it was pressing against the frame. I've tried freeing the wires a bit, so it's not really pressing. I will try again when the battery's charged. License, what I can definitely tell you not to do is definitely don't break that camera connector off expecting there to be pads below it, because there aren't. That was what I did to my Happy Model AIO, and it is now in a landfill somewhere. So yeah, to be really honest, just move it back to the other frame. I tried every possible way of fixing that issue, and there's just no way. There's just not a way to fix that. You got to get a newbie drone AIO. I mean, that's the only way to use that cockroach frame. Or maybe the Beta FPV. There's a chance that the Beta FPV AIO will work. I don't remember. The reason I moved away from the Beta FPV AIOs is because they fail all the time, and also it only has a 25 milliwatt. Well, so the failure rate. So the 25 milliwatt VTX, and there was no option to run an external receiver, and the internal SPI receiver was absolutely atrocious. It was having micro failsafes from just going on the other side of the couch. So yeah, the Beta FPV AO came out pretty quickly. What is the deal with this? Why am I having such a problem here? Because the motor was not lined up. No, it's still being a jerk. Oh, there it goes. All right. Come on. My God, these little tiny screws. Jesus. Ugh. Ribby Tim is in the house. Hey, Dan, last time we spoke, you were talking about wanting to change the wording on the Fiverr stuff, and also I need some images. So that's the only thing stopping me from putting your mentorship stuff up on the Fiverr page. So if you don't want to change the wording, that's totally fine. And if you want me to try to figure something out for some images, that's totally fine too. Just let me know. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Remy Tim is going to be coming on board of my Fiverr. He's got his own website cooking, but for the interim, on my Fiverr page, I'm going to be offering FPV mentorship for people that are brand new into the hobby. Remy Tim is going to be helping them through that process. It's something that he's been doing for free over on FPV Builders, I believe it is. And on the way to and from Rampage, I browbeat him enough to start charging for it. As well he should, because it's fucking work, man. It's a lot of work to do that, and it has a lot of value. So yeah, if you've got like a friend or a family member or something like that that's trying to get into FPV, hire Remy Tim, man. Support people in our community, and there's a chance that that person won't quit the hobby after a couple weeks, because fucking A, getting started in FPV is hard. So yeah, I can't wait to have that up there, because I do get inquiries every so often of people saying like, hey, I want to get started in the hobby, can you help me? And I usually say no, because like I've been in the hobby for so long, and I kind of only know like QX7, and I only know like the stuff that I use. For me to try to get somebody going from 0 to 100 would be a ton of work for me, and it's probably not worth it for them. I won't say no outright, but I'll let them know that it's going to be $80 an hour, and it's going to take many hours, and that at that point they don't message me back. I mean, I'm being totally honest. Like it would take me a long time, because I would have to look a lot of stuff up, because it's been 4.5 years since I was new. So yeah, it's just not. It's just not what. It's not what I'm good at. It's not what I'm practiced at. But Remy Tim, on the other hand, he is practiced at it. He's been spending a lot of time over the last year or two figuring out how to walk people through that, figuring out how to get people into the hobby. And yeah, that has a ton of value, and I'm glad that he sees that value, and I'm glad that I can have a little bit of a microphone to tell more people about it, because yeah, he's a great person that deserves to get that going. So yeah, his website's going to be fpvmentor.com. That's going to be pretty awesome. Do you guys want to take bets on whether or not he'll get that website up before I get fpvinstructor.com up? I actually haven't heard back from Andre in a while. Andre from Rotor Riot offered to do my website for nothing as a portfolio piece for himself. And when you offer to do stuff for free, those things tend to not be your highest priority, which is totally fine. This is not me complaining at all. I'm the exact same way. Like, When you guys, you know, to be quite honest, when you guys ask me to do things for you for free, those requests get pushed down below all of the Fiverr requests or the Patreon messages from, you know, people that are paying my electric bill and paying my rent and stuff like that. You just kind of have to do that once something goes from a hobby into a business. And it's one of the things that I've always been afraid of, but for the most part, everybody's been very respectful and understanding of that, which is really, really nice. Not everybody, of course, but you know, the people that aren't are typically 15 years old and don't know their ass from their elbow. And I try my best to take the time with those people to explain to them how business works and explain to them how marketing works and shit like that. But sometimes they're just hopeless. In which case I have to resist the urge to get into it with them and just say, okay, you know, you're allowed to hate me. Someday, I hope you understand and come back around and realize what a jackass you're being right now. But some people never will. We all know those people. We all know those people. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. I know I'm right. There we go. There's the one on the 0802s. Let me pull these motor wires out a little bit and get them to sit flat. And here's our wacky little battery setup. Cool. So we got to check motor direction, but first we'll do the other set of motors on this other rig. Holy shit! The whole chat is orange. Where are we at here? CH3FPV says the trash can frame, it's stronger than the Mobula V3. I have no idea. I've never tried either one, CH3FPV. There are a bunch of really big Tiny Whoop groups on Facebook though, so I would jump into those Facebook groups and post that question. And there's a lot of Tiny Whoop racers, and those guys usually get a good feel for durability. So I'm sure somebody knows the answer to that question. It just ain't me. I haven't tried or even seen either one of those frames. Ruby Tim says, that's on me. The wording is great. Images incoming. Awesome. Ruby Tim also says, it's a lot of work, but I love helping people. License to Drive says, the Mobula 6 frame is broken, which is why I swapped to the Cockroach. Gotcha, License. Rumi says, I'll crank out a website tonight if there's a bet involved. Nice. GWFPV says, thinking about R9 to do ELRS. What's your thoughts? My thoughts are to go with Crossfire. Crossfire is 900 megahertz, which is always going to outperform 2.4 gigahertz. For me, the most important possible thing is the transmitter link. 5-inch rigs are big and scary and dangerous. I will do everything in my power to maintain control of that rig, even if I lose video. So for me, it's Crossfire or nothing, but ELRS seems really good, and a little bit of a reduction in latency is a good thing. So there's some good points to ELRS. Expect a little bit of a nightmare in terms of setting it up and all that nonsense. I also really don't have time or patience for that. But yeah. If you're cool with a nightmare of a user experience and you're cool with a little bit less range, you can get an improvement in latency, and that'll potentially make you a little bit better of a pilot. 75 mil whoop number 2 coming up. Here we go. More fiddly screws to remove. Wait, no. I want to get these motors unplugged first before the motors start flopping around. And I need to leave these adapters on here. So I'm going to use the little fine-tipped. Crossfire is also time-tested and like proven. Ghost and Tracer and ELRS, you know, these are all 100% hype train right now, so keep that in mind. The hype train for me is usually something I try to stay as far away from as possible, because it's the source of a lot of misinformation. It's the source of a lot of kind of potentially wasted money. So yeah, I try to really stay off the hype train until something is really very well vetted. And I feel like every time I go on Facebook, I read about somebody else that's had a failsafe on ELRS, Ghost, or Tracer. And failsafes are just unacceptable for me. I can't have that. Yeah, I just can't have that happening on my rigs. Once you start doing like cinematic work around human beings, you just can't have shit falling out of the sky. Like it's a whole different ball game. And yeah, jumping on that hype train and going for something that's 2 or 3 milliseconds lower latency, that's just not worth it for me at the moment. Although it would probably be an even bigger decrease rather in latency for me, because I'm not even on that fancy version of Crossfire. I haven't updated my Crossfire in like whatever. So I still need to go to that lower latency version of Crossfire. But I just haven't had the patience to update all the rigs. I should do that one of these days though. Although, you know what, it wasn't even that. I was waiting for it to not be a nightly. The lower latency version of Crossfire last time I looked was still like a sketchy ass nightly build. So yeah, I've been kind of patiently waiting for a regular stable release of that lower latency Crossfire firmware. But yeah, I've been perfectly happy with Crossfire. It works really, really well. And it's just proven, you know, it's a known quantity. It's been around for a long time. We know how it interacts with cell phone towers. We know how it interacts coming down the side of a 1,000-foot tall building in downtown Atlanta. It's just, yeah, it's just a solid link. A little boring, but I'm okay with boring. We fear change. What movie, motherfuckers? What movie? We fear change. One of you old bastards is gonna get this one. Oh my god, the whole chat is orange. Still. Jason Crabtree says Ears has 900 megahertz, but with you on Crossfire. Frank Nicholas says Express ELRS Sparts 900 megahertz also. Just buy the right hardware. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that. Bob Noxious says, "What's up, collective?" Remy Tim says, "Just so you're aware, ELRS has options for both 2.4 and 900. The OG stuff for ELRS ran on R9 hardware with 900 megahertz." Huh, very cool. So that fixes one of the things, you know, that I'm afraid of with ELRS. Unfortunately, there's still a bunch of other reasons that I don't really have any interest in it. But that's okay. We're all allowed to run different shit. I'm not like the technical guy, so there's really no reason for me to jump on any of these hype train things to try to get people to watch. That's really not what I do here. So yeah, totally fine. Lots of good people making lots of really good content around these new radio links that you guys should definitely check out, man. Joshua and Mark Spatz over at UAV Tech, they're doing some really, really good work. I'm a little hungry, man. Hold on, let me go get some nuts. Here's something. Watch this! Computer. You're killing me. computer. Come on. Friendly Nomad says, I just heard from a doctor that boredom is both good and necessary for mental health and development. Isn't that neat? It is. Yeah, I think Dr. K, the Healthy Gamers, mentioned that once or twice. Wayne's World quote. Bob Noxious got it. Oh. Well, wait. I'll play this for you guys. We're gonna get copyright. We're gonna get nailed on the copyright, but that's okay. So you guys are getting a first look at the HD version of this. This is gonna be over on the YouTube channel tomorrow. It's currently up in 1080p on the Instagram page, but this is the first time. I mean, it's not going to be HQ. It's going to be dog shit quality because this computer can only stream at 720p. But on my side, it's going to be the HQ. Ready? Hold on. Hold on, please. That was the one. That was the one indeed. What a fucking dive, man. Man, I want to go put like 20 batteries into that spot in the worst way. Man, what a moment. That was really cool. Remy, Tim, and I both put 3 batteries in there, and it was just a really cool moment. Really, really cool moment. I wish we'd done another couple batteries to really get the chase locked in. But man, it's hard. When you're 1,100 feet up, trying to coordinate and both chop the throttle and come down that fucker at the same time, whoo, that was tough. We got very lucky that we were that close on the first time we tried it. But I can't help but sit here and wonder, like, if we'd given it another couple tries to kind of get our communications down. BeepTube says that spot isn't that far of a drive from Atlanta. Sure it is. That's like 3 hours. That was I think it was 1 hour from Barnwell, so it was yeah, it was 3 hours into our ride. It was really far. A little too far to just like go hop over to it, you know what I mean? But almost maybe worth it. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, like, yeah, that was a big radio tower, but a lot of radio towers are really big. The one thing that was kind of unique about that radio tower is that it was recoverable. Usually they're a little bit less recoverable than that one was. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we could just find a radio tower like in the country, in the middle of nowhere, and just get it done. I'm going to be looking up a little bit more for radio towers when I drive around, because man, that was really cool. And like, what I'm envisioning is if we could get that dive like a foot from one another, like maybe even like passing each other on the way down. Oh, come on now. What's cool about a radio tower is it acts like a, so one of the hardest things to do when you're following is to, like, every little bit of deviation is really tough. So one of the cheat codes to trying to follow each other is to use railroad tracks. And the railroad tracks will naturally give you something to stay centered on, which makes chasing each other a lot easier. So the radio tower is going to accomplish the same thing on the way down, right? Because it's nice and narrow and nice and skinny. So naturally, you'll kind of stay locked into it. On that dive where I was chasing Daniel, I was kind of moving around a little bit because his quad kept disappearing in my goggles. You might have noticed there's a little zoom that I do in post there. That was 150% zoom that I put in there to really get him, because like he kept disappearing. So that was one of the reasons I was moving around, is like he would disappear and then I would move around a little bit to try to see him again. I mean, A, because I wanted to see him, I wanted to make sure I didn't crash into him, but B, because, you know, like I was the third person rig. Like I wasn't doing the dive, I was filming Daniel as if we were on a Sim Sunday lead follow stream, right? Like, it was kind of cool. I didn't really have to think about any of that shit because we've done it so much. You know, I've been the cameraman chasing you guys so much that it was like very natural for me to kind of do that. I didn't even really need to think about it. But I would love if we could really get it nailed down so that the two of us are on top of each other, because then I wouldn't have to film. I could just do the dive. And if both people are concentrating on doing the dive and they're close together, oh my god, that's going to look outrageous. So yeah, the tandem flying thing is something I want to do more of for sure. And it's cool that I feel like I'm starting to figure out like little tips and tricks on how to do it a little bit better. Cause it's hard, man. Like everything pushes us around. Every little motion pushes us, and it's really hard to follow. It's a real skill. All right, last motor going on here. All right, come on, get off of there. Get off of there. Alright, so this is going pretty well. Now we get to do some fly. Well, no, first we got to check motor direction, but then we'll get to do some frying. I'm just going to put the props on, and when I spin the motors up, I'll be able to tell if the thrust is going upwards or if the thrust is going downwards. That is the easiest. Well, no, you know what? Let me not do that. Let me actually spin these up without the propellers on them, because I'm actually curious how well balanced these 0802s and 0803s are from T-Motor. So this will be a really big test, man. T-Motor has a really good reputation for making really well balanced, really durable, really good performing motors. So there's a chance that these are potentially the best Whoop motors we've ever had. Because, you know, the only other companies really making Whoop motors are Newbie Drone, but they're not making them with the right KV that really does us any good. We've got Happy Model, and of course their quality control is probably the worst in the industry. We've got Beta FPV. I mean, their quality control in the AIOs is abysmal. So, I mean, we can maybe transfer that same sort of knowledge over to their motors potentially, right? So, like, we don't have a lot of... I mean, there are the iFlight Zing motors, but they didn't really perform all that well when I tested them. So, yeah, maybe these will be like a game-changing, really good quality 0802, 0803. Never know. I let them know that I think that 1102 is the right size for the 75 mil motor-to-motor whoops. So we'll see if maybe they listen to that. Probably not. But you never know. You never do know. And maybe I fly these 0803s on this 75 mil build and they're phenomenal. We're going to find out soon enough. All right, so we're all plugged in. Let's grab one of these RDQ batteries that we're really not going to do the testing with. And we will check motor direction, but first we'll check motor balance. We'll see what these things feel and sound like. Paul McDonald says, will T-Motor give them a special name like TO2 or TO3s, you think? Man, I hope not. Dalton's FPV says somebody was making an 1002. I think it was Angry Don. That's interesting. 1002. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down to try that. All right, so let's test the... Jesus, which one is which? Let's test the 0802s first. And there we go. Here we go. All right, so you guys really aren't going to be able to hear anything with this, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm feeling through my fingertips. Oh boy. Hold on. Hey, there we go. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay, we're good. So let's connect. Go to the motors tab. We understand the risks. Oh, wow. I mean, they are fresh motors, but... Well, that one's a little bit more vibey than the first one. That one's about the same as the second one. That one's about the same as the first one. So, I mean, they feel really clean. They are brand new. And they are tiny little motors. So, didn't really learn much from that. Maybe I can check the motor direction. Sometimes I can spin them up just slow enough to be able to see what direction they're spinning in. Yeah, I can't really see. Can I feel it? Can't really feel it either. What do I have that I can drag into them to see what direction? This will work. Okay, so motor 1 is wrong. Motor 2 is correct. Motor 3 is correct. Motor 4 is wrong. So I got to reverse motors 1 and 4. All right, good to know. Now let's try the other one. I got to reverse 1 and 4 in BL Heli. All right, here is the rig on the 0803s. Give it power. Same thing, into the motors tab. Understand the risks, and now let's feel. That one's pretty smooth. That one's a little buzzy. One's about the same. 0802s are definitely smooth, less vibey, but I mean, I'm really splitting hairs here. These feel absolutely fine. Let's see if I can figure out what direction they're spinning. 1 is correct. 2 is correct. 3 is correct. 4 is correct. Ah, cool. So I only have to change them on the 1 rig. Good news. All right, so let's get these motors rotated, or the direction reversed rather, and then we'll throw some propellers on these guys, and we will do our testing. Get back over to this one. Okay, so we need to plug this guy in, fire up BL Heli, reverse 1 and 4, and then we'll be golden. All right, and I'm gonna hop into BL Heli configurator. Which 1404 motors do you have, Friendly Nomad? And did they do that out of the gate or after you started crashing them? Motor 1, we're going to go from reverse to normal. 4, we're going to go from reversed to normal. Right setup. Check the rest of these settings here. Looking good. And we're all set. The real answer to your question, Friendly Nomad, is you need to do what I just did. Because you want to see if it's all the motors or if there's just one. So if it's just one of the 4 motors that's banged up, just replace that one. There's really never typically a need to replace all 4 motors. So yeah, do that same thing I just did. Emax Ecos. So those Emax Ecos are a little notchy, but they're not notchy enough that they should be creating jello. So one of those motors is probably banged up. Yeah, do exactly what you just saw me do. And that will show you which motor is banged up, and then you can replace it, and you'll be good to go. All right, so these are all 1mm shaft. So this is the one with the 0802s. So I'm going to put purple on the 0802s to signify, I don't know, purpleness. Oh, no, that's the wrong shaft diameter. Well, no, I guess everything is going to get red. That's okay. Oh, and I can put these 3 blades away. I hope I have enough of these in red. High left, high right, high right, high right, 3 blade, 3 blade, high right. Should mean the rest of these are high left, high left, high left. Cool, I have just enough. All right, so everything is going to go red in more ways than one. Get these on here. Come on. Ooh, the shafts are a little... Oh my god. These are really tight on here. Jesus. Shafts might be a little thicker on these. Nope, we're good. That was just a fresh prop that hadn't been put on a shaft yet. How many times can you say shaft? Shaft, 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 shaft. All right, and last one going on right now. And this is the 0802 rig. All right, now we've got the 0803 rig. Let's see what happens. What the hell happened over here? Why, man, it's such a mess. I need to do a little tidying. Back left. I don't want to push it down too hard and not be able to get the damn thing off. I also want to make sure I'm putting them on right side up. Last time we did this, I put one of the props on upside down. Felt like a total jackass. Right side up, this is going to be motor 4. Shaft theme song, Edoc says. Yeah, right. Shrimp wrap. Shafts and shrimp wraps. I can't believe I forgot about shrimp wrap. God. What a great mispronunciation of shrink wrap. Just perfect. Alright, there we go. So we got props on both of these little guys. Let me get that screen up. And, yeah, we'll see what the hell happens. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I once knew a guy that said interesting. And I didn't correct him. This is not going to go well. This is too close to that propeller. Well, no, I don't want to push that propeller down anymore. Let me bend this antenna wire up a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Interesting. What do you think of that? Very interesting. It's kind of like ostracizing, but, you know, I don't know. Worse, maybe? All right. Ovonic 450 mAh battery coming up. Let me get you guys this screen here. So I'm gonna go, oh boy. And yeah, I'm just gonna fly and kind of talk you guys through it. You'll be able to see what's happening. You won't be able to feel what's happening, unfortunately, though. Which is what I'll try to clue you in on. There we go. All right, 3S battery is plugged in. Let's get this channel all the way up to 39. There we go. So now when I do the thing, you guys will get some video, but just give it a minute here. Got this focused. There we go. And I just want to move this over a little bit to the left so you guys can get it up in there. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Okay, 2 of the same batteries that I just charged. Slotting them into the slot. What the fuck does that mean? Oh. Well, I didn't realize that. Oh. Well, how the hell is this going to work? Oh, okay. Okay, got it. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. Come on, battery, get up in there. There we go. All right. Battery is in the 1. Oh my God, what the hell? How is this gonna work? How is that gonna plug in there? Stand by. These batteries have like a big plastic bastard on them that makes trying to get them plugged in really difficult. All right, hold on. I know you guys can't see this, but just give me a second. It's nothing really all that interesting, but I do need to figure it out real quick. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Well, okay. What about that? What about if I do that? Flat part up. The most technical of difficulties. Only not all that technical. just kind of annoying. Get in there, battery. What's it hanging? Oh, I see. Yeah, these Ovonic batteries can eat me. Boy, this is gonna be. I don't know how to. There we go. Got it. Nope. Still not gonna plug in. What if it sits up like that? Nope. Nope. Still not gonna do it. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to test with these Ovonic batteries because they put a big, huge plastic fucking guard on them for no reason. I lied. I got it plugged in, but man, it is bending the shit out of the frame. So this one, all right. So this is the 0803 rig. We're gonna fly this one first. Let me get the 0802 rig as ready as I possibly can, so that I can just like immediately slop from one to the other. Great. I'm gonna slop from one to the other, guys. In more ways than one. So I guess I'll push this battery all the way in so that it's pushing on the frame in the same really annoying way. And then that's not quite enough to plug in there either. Wow! Ovonic, what the hell? Why would you do this? Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, you guys got video? You guys got video. Let's put you down, little friend. Get the QX7 turned on. And let's see what we got. Goggles would help. So this is the 0803 rig. The right screen is all disgusting in my goggles. Hold on. Alright, that's better. So yeah, this is the 0803 rig. Let me just confirm that really quickly by looking at the other one. Yes, 0803 rig. Oh, this other one has an issue. The props are hitting the... oh, for fuck's sake. So I'm not going to be able to go straight from one to the other. Well, unless I do this real quick. So the props on the 0802s are so short that the props are rubbing against the cockroach frame. So I'm really quickly pushing the props up on the shafts on this other rig, because I do want to be able to go directly from one to the next. Oh man, no, they're still really rubbing. Jesus. Huh. Come on, come on, come on. Pop up. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, I know, little guy, I know. Okay, 0803's first. 1S, 22,000 kV, a lot of kV. Wow, it feels really good already. The hover point is... Let's see where the hover point is. So we've got throttle value on the right there. Hover point looks like 25-ish % there. That's pretty good. Oh, for God's sakes, Larry. Oh. Feels pretty good. Yeah, wow. These really control the, I think it's the extra KV. Those, it really did feel like those Beta FPV 1102s didn't have enough KV. These 75mm motor-to-motor rigs are definitely harder to fly in here, though. Definitely harder to fly than the 65mm whoops. I don't know if I've fixed the... Man, look at that float, though. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. Man, this thing has some stank on it, though. Yeah, it's got some power. Wow, okay. No, 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 no! Oh. Oh. No. I mean, the fact that it turtle modes over with these brushless whoops is a good sign. Some of the motors don't even make enough power to turtle mode over properly, so that's really good. Oh my god, I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with the rates on this thing. The super rate is coming through very low. Let's see if we can back out of here. Nope. Oh, nope. Where's the runtime at? So we're at 2 minutes 10. Pretty good. This is a 450 mAh battery. Ignore the mAh readout on the bottom left. That's probably not calibrated right. Man, these feel really good. I'll be really interested to test these against the 1102s. Let me do a little test here. Let me turn down the RPM. So these are 22,000 kV. By going down to 80%, we're basically bringing these down to 18,000 kV, which is roughly where the beta FPV 1102s were. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, interesting. So even though the 1.6 inch props are a lot bigger, they still really need that extra kV. Wow. Okay, that's really good to know. So, damn. Yeah. Okay, that's really important. So that does kind of make sense, though, right? The 25,000 kV is really good on the 1.2 inch propellers. It would stand to reason that like 20 or 22,000 kV would be good for the oh boy, for the bigger props. And these bigger rigs also have to haul around more weight, of course. So yeah, man. So here's the $1,000 question: does this feel so good because of the KV or because of the 0803s? I'm willing to bet it's because of the KV. Yeah, see, I expect it. Most of my flight time has been on the 65mm motor-to-motor rigs, and I expect the momentum to be. I expect that for the momentum, and this thing has a lot more momentum. So I tend to just go sliding into stuff. Wow, that was a really, really interesting little test there. Yeah. All right, so let's go directly, possibly, to the 0802 rig, which is the exact same KV. So this will be a really interesting test if I can figure out how to get this battery plugged in, and if I can get the props to not hit the ducts. So to get the battery plugged in, I'm going to have to pass this battery plug back down through here. Damn, man, that flew really good with that KV. And what a stark difference when I pulled the KV down. See, yeah, all four... Nope, not the left rear. I was about to say all four of these props are hitting the ducts, but that's not true. The left rear is not. So let me just try to pick these props up a little bit off of these. Oh shit, that one just popped right off. Yeah, I just got to push these down ever so slightly. I would never really recommend an 0802 on one of these 75mm motor-to-motor whoops anyway. So this is kind of fine. But we're just doing this for testing purposes to really try to suss out what the correct motor size is for a 75mm whoop, because I just don't really think that we know that quite yet. I mean, that's a really important thing to figure out with each propeller size, is which Motor size complements it the best. Come on, goddammit. There we go. There we go. So that prop is like barely on, but that hopefully it won't fly off. Oh, god damn it. No, it's going to fly off. Let me just plug it in. Maybe it'll kind of self-clearance-ish, possibly, probably not. Let's just see what happens. Oh man, that's bad. It's really rubbing. Let's see what happens anyway. Nope. Nope. Oh, goggles, I swear to God. Not the time. Oh, that's a little better. But I think that prop's gonna fall off. Let's see. Nope. God! Come on. Oh, Fat Shark, why is your fucking voltage sensing in your goggles such shit? Well, that one's not rubbing. Which one's rubbing? What? Nobody's rubbing. What? What's happening? Which one is... let's go to turtle mode. It is the right front. Oh, and it's the left front. God damn it, it's all three of them. Alright. Well, I tried to test them. I tried, man. Come on. Hey, there we go. It's just barely rattling now. Let's see. Nope. Wow, these 0802s feel horrible in comparison. Okay, so 0802s are definitely too small. I mean, I already knew this, but oh my God, what a difference. Yeah, 0802s are definitely too small for a 75 mil motor-to-motor whoop. No question about it. They feel floppy, they feel soft, they have very little authority. Look at the hover point. Hold on. Hover point is all the way almost at 40. And like, it doesn't help that the props are banging into the ducts in fairness. But no, I mean, this is like night and day. Wow, really good to know. Really good to kind of confirm that. A little bit of myth busting here. Yeah, I mean, like, look at it. Look, when you sit it into prop wash. Damn. See what kind of runtime we get. Oh, my nose is all fucking drippy all of a sudden. What's going on here? Alright, let's keep it moving. Oh no! Oh God! Very hard to recover. See if we can shoot the sim rig gap. There we go. Look at that. Oh boy, this is hard to fly. Where's the cat at? Oh wow, it's not gonna turtle mode over. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Easy, easy, easy. Keep beeping. Just keep fucking beeping, Fat Sharks. Never die, but forever just beep. Just beep for the rest of your life. Let's keep going here. Do you guys remember the runtime of the other one? I don't. Man, brutal. Really good. Man, those 0803s felt real good compared to these. So, I mean, I guess I can pull these off and throw the Beta FPV 1102s on here. But see, the problem is that with that lower KV, those 1102s are not going to fly right. I mean, it's not that they're not going to fly right, but they're not going to be able to compare. Oh, that's too dark. No, not going through there. Wow. So much harder to fly. It's like, I mean, there's basically like a ton of extra latency because the motor's not big enough for the weight of the propeller. So when the motor tries to change the direction of the propeller, it just kind of can't because the prop is just too heavy for it. And you can even see it in the pit loop. Like there's like a wobble even that wasn't there before. 3 minutes and 50 seconds though. Look at that runtime. That's crazy runtime. Very cool little test. Very, very cool test. I did not expect that to be that noticeable. So here's the other reason why I kept running that. I wanted to make sure that the props hitting the ducts wasn't really making the PID loop go bananas. The fact that we got a good runtime like that means that yeah, it's just not enough motor. It basically means that that was a pretty fair test. Without the props hitting the ducts, it would have probably been a little bit better, but not that much. So yeah, really good little bit of myth busting there. 0802s are definitely not enough motor for the 1.6-inch propellers. Man, this rig on the 0803s felt real good though. Real good. So here's the deal. The Beta FPV 1102s are 18,000 kV, which is just not enough. It is just not enough kV, I don't think. Well, it's been a little bit since I've flown it, so let's throw them on. Oh, yeah, we can do a three-way test here. Oh, wait, I also have the Beta FPV 0803s. Let me see what kV those are. I think those are a really low kV, though. I think those are the reason that I set this one rig up with the 2S cable. Let me take a quick look here. Just getting some of this hair out of this one real quick. There we go. Let me take a quick look at the Beta FPV 0803s to see what kV they are. They are, yep, they're 12,000. They're only 12,000 kV. So that's not really a fair test. Well, so we're at a little bit of an impasse here. But we can test all three of the appropriate motor options for 75 millimeter motor-to-motor 1.6-inch propellered tiny whoops, which are these T-Motor 0803 22,000 kV motors, which I just flew, versus the Beta FPV 1102 18,000s, which are probably just not enough kV, versus the Happy model 1102 19,000s. The problem's going to be that rig has the motors direct soldered to the V2 newbie drone board. So there's a lot of variables with that rig, but we can learn a couple of things here. We can learn a couple more things here. So I'm going to take these 0802s off. I'm kind of surprised that they did as well as they did on these big ass propellers. They should rip on the on a 65 mil whoop. That's what they should be on. What's up, Forevermore? All right, one more motor swap, and we'll do a little bit of flying. Oh my God, we're at 2 hours and 45 minutes already. Jesus. Okay. I'm gonna do this as fast as I possibly can here. The fucking battery's all mixed up now. Okay. Fast, motor swap. Damn. T-Motor 0803 22,000 kVs. I mean, there's a chance that that's the right motor just because of the KV. Wow. That's shocking. Although you can make the case for 2S, because you can run 2. So that was on a 1S 450. If you run 2 of the Newbie Drone 250s, they're probably not all that much heavier. Well, let's look. Let's take a look at weights on some of these batteries, because that's really all that matters. So first we're going to look at the Ovonic 1S 450, which is, hey, somebody type this into the chat for me. Ovonic 450 is 11.6 grams. The Talon 450 is 12.5 grams. Jesus, that's a lot heavier. And then 2 of the Newbie Drone 250s are 13.9 grams. I forget those first 2 weights. Somebody drop that into the chat for me. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a lot heavier. Okay. So 13.9, 11.6, 12.5. Yeah, it's just another gram. But yeah, I mean, a gram on a tiny whoop is a significant amount. So yeah, I mean, the 2S thing, it's definitely going to make more power. It's definitely going to be more efficient. But if you're pinching every possible gram, you're going to be better off on 1S. And I mean, realistically, I think these things are, but see, like, I would rather run all tiny whoops on 1S, but we don't have the motor selection. And without a good motor, right? It's like, well, you know, we don't have this luxury of like, oh yeah, the perfect, like what we need is an 1102 22,000 kV, it looks like. But I'll give you a little more of my thoughts on that in a minute once we do this head-to-head test. Ooh, man, I can't believe how good those 0803s felt. That's pretty fucking interesting. Yeah, wow, okay. T-motor coming through with possibly the best 75 mil whoop motor. Damn. Okay. Oh, if they could do an 1102, I would kiss them. I'm pretty sure that 1103 is overkill. Hell, 1102 might be overkill. 0803 might be the right size. It very well might be. Unfortunately, the differences in KV here are going to really make a proper comparison in that respect impossible. But that kind of doesn't matter because we've got these 3 motor options, and in a minute I think we're going to be able to definitively say this is the one to get. All of these results are going to be exacerbated when putting the Insta360 Go on here as well. So all of these, all of what we're talking about here is going to be totally one-to-one with dragging around an Insta360 Go, because here's the thing with tiny whoops, right? With tiny whoops, the biggest deficiency in their flight characteristics is horsepower. So, like, for the most part with a tiny whoop, you just do everything you possibly can to add horsepower, and then that's going to make it a better flight experience. The problem is when you go to 2S, the weight balloons up. Although, man, 1 extra gram from the Talon to the double Newbie Drone 250s is not bad at all. It really, really isn't. So maybe that's, I mean, maybe that's the key. Maybe these Beta FPV 1102 18,000s throttle limited down a little bit on 2S. Maybe they're the, maybe that's the golden monkey. I can't really do that test because I don't have a way of mounting two of these Newbie Drone 250s. Although maybe I can just kind of ram them in there. I'll give it a shot. I was going to do it. Oh, okay. You're still on, Tyrannus? Sorry. Sorry! CH3FPV says, fly with the Insta360 Go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really need to because the results are so obvious. If I'm having trouble deciding between two of them, I'll maybe do that. Actually, no, I won't because neither one of these rigs have the bunny ears mount on them, so I actually can't test it with the Insta360 Go. But I mean, if you just want to see me flying the Insta360 Go on a tiny whoop, just go to my FPV edits section, and there's a couple of edits in there from GMG Performance of me flying around the 65mm tiny whoop with the Insta360 Go on it. But I'm not going to be doing that here tonight. Alright, we got two. Let's keep going. Oh, I hope these spin the right direction. I don't think they are. Because I think I took those. I think I took these off, and this is the one that I had to reverse the motor direction on. So one more thing to slow us down. That's alright. There are worse problems in the world than having to launch BL Heli again. Here's the other thing, right? An 0803, so a 2mm tall stator is not gonna be super efficient. So the vertical plane of the stator is the only part of the windings that's actually doing work, and a 2mm tall stator really doesn't have much vertical winding material. It's kind of wasting a bunch of weight in that respect. So it kind of stands to reason that a 3mm tall stator, which is 50% more vertical face on the windings, could potentially be, even if 08 is not the right width, the 3mm tall might make enough of a difference where 0803 is the correct size. Now that we're getting down in motor size, there's all kinds of wacky shit that we're gonna see like that. You know, basically what I'm saying is that there's the potential that that extra 50% stator height is a bigger advantage than 3 extra millimeters of stator width. And the 11 width motors might just not be, it might be too much stator width, basically. Yeah. That could totally be the case. Be very hard to figure that out without motors that are like the exact same KV from the same manufacturer and all that kind of jazz, but yeah, I don't know. And we don't have many options in motors for these 75mm whoops anyway, so in a minute I'll be able to realistically test like the 3. Although actually there's once we get into this 2S world, we can also test those Beta FPV 0803s, and I think a couple other folks have 0803s in the lower KV. I mean, hell, if we go down that road, there's a chance that an 0802 on 2S would make enough jam. 2S makes such a difference in power and efficiency over 1S that, yeah, there's a chance that all of this goes out the window once we go from 1S to 2S. But I would love to keep all the tiny whoops on 1S, man. I really would. Although actually maybe not. You know, I think I was talking about this last time where once I have a good mounting solution for the double 2S setup, I don't hate the idea of running 2S because then I can just have all the same batteries. I can just have all Newbie Drone Nitro Nectar Golds. And then on the 75 mil whoops, I just run 2 of them. And on the 65 mil whoop, I just run 1 of them. That's kind of a better scenario than having these separate 450 mAh, 500 mAh 1S batteries. You know, because the whole like staying 1S thing. Well, you know, now as I say this though, these AIOs. Running these AIOs on 2S is going to be a lot more stressful than running them on 1S. You can really see it, like you can watch the core temperature warnings start popping up when you run these things on 2S. So yeah, that introduces reliability and durability into the mix. And that's a big deal. All right, so we've got the Beta FPV 1102 18,000s on here. And we are going to run them on 1S, which is kind of unfair, but it has to be done. Okay, let me see. Let me see where I'm at here with batteries. I'm going to run. Oh, wait, no, I've got these 2 Talon NFGs, okay, and these will be easier to mount. Horsepower sell parts, but forks win races. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let me. What the hell? Come on, get in there. Okay. So here we go. Let's run this with the, we're just going to run head-to-head these 2 rigs again on these Talon NFG 450s. And we're just going to see, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty obvious, but. So let's run the one on the 18,000 kV Beta FPV motors first. Fart. Get this monitor plugged in for you wonderful people. Come on, get in there. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There it goes. $39. Move it close. Focus. And here we go. Goggles. Transmitter. I think you guys are pretty quickly going to be able to see the difference. But let's take a look. God damn it, I forgot to put propellers on it. How many of you guys noticed that? Alright, so these, oh, and these need the propellers with the bigger shafts. 1 millimeter shaft instead of, I'm sorry, 1.5 millimeter shaft instead of 1. So we got, oh, I don't know if it's going to spin the effing props in the right direction either. I might need to hook it up to Beta Flight. Cross your fingers that I don't have to do that because I want to keep this rolling here. Come on, Beta FPV. Have your motors spin the same direction as T-motor, please. Hey, look at that. Okay, can you guys see? Yeah, you can. Let's go. Oh God, shut up. Oh wow, no, jeez, okay. Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, it's got considerably more power than those 0802s, but I don't think it's got as much as those 0803 22,000s. But man, this is going to be a good test in a minute here when I switch. I'm actually going to switch now because this battery is still pretty much fully charged. Alright, so I'm going to switch right now so I can get the closest head-to-head possible. And so that was 1102, 18,000. Come on, come unplugged, you bastard. Come on. Come on, I'm forgetting what that felt like. There we go. Okay, and here is the 0803 rig. Come on. Get in there. Okay, and here we go. Goggles, come on, turn on. Oh no. Way more power. Yeah, more power for sure. Oh God, yeah. Oh wow, okay, that was a big one. Yeah, okay, so that's just the KV, I think. Wow, what the hell did I hit even? Look who I found. Hi, buddy. He hates the tiny whoops, so I don't try not to harass him. Yeah, okay, so the KV, the difference in KV makes a huge difference. The difference in KV is really what we're seeing here. It's really hard to. So I mean, there is that big prop wash judder there. In theory, that's going to be better on the 1102s, but the problem is, oh, and I got these PIDs jacked up pretty good. The problem is with the lower KV on the 1102s. That kind of throws that out the window a little bit. Let's crank these all the way up to 90 and see what happens. I swear to God, Fat Sharks, I'm going to burn you in a fucking fire if you don't stop. I mean, they're not going to stop. Oh, wow. Wait, did that clean it up? Wow, that cleaned it right the hell up. Whoa, really? Usually, oh wow, okay. T-Motor, what have you created here? Look at this thing. Look at this thing boogie around. Jesus. Ow. Trying to cut me. Oh boy. Definitely more momentum. Definitely more. No, don't get stuck under there, please. No, please no. Come on, just come out. You know you want to come out of there. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want it. You know you want it. Ugh. I gotta go get it. Wow. T-Motor! You've, damn. I'm the wide stator guy, and, I'm kind of shocked here. Let's see where the runtime ends up. We're at 205 already. Ooh! I can't really do anything inverted because the rates are acting really funny. Although, hold on. Let me just crank the fucking super rate up. I don't know why I didn't just do that in the first place. Coming here to the rates, and we'll just take this super and go up to, like, I don't know, 1.0? Sure. something weird going on with the actual rates on this newbie drone specific version of the firmware. All right, let's see. All right. Still really slow. Oh God. Yeah, so flying this around in here, this feels like a much tighter space than it actually is versus the 65 just because of the extra weight. Oh no! Oh my God. Oh, we did it, folks. We did it. That reversal. You'll love to see it. Yeah, see shit like that, like the, yeah, it just feels big. Because it is. This is considerably heavier than the 65. This is more of like an outdoor-ish, or just bigger, you know, not such a small apartment. So we're at 3 minutes 25, and the low battery is starting to come on, but it's coming on pretty hard there. 3 minutes 33. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go directly over to an unfair fight, which is the direct soldered Happy model. I don't really need to fly those Beta FPV 1102 18,000s again. They just don't have the RPM. But what I would like to fly is this direct soldered V2 newbie drone on the 1102 Happy model 19,000s. I'm just gonna put it on one of these Ovonic 450s. That's fine. No. I'm gonna put it on this RDQ 450. Yes. RDQ 450. That'll be a little bit of a. This is not a fair fight for a bunch of different reasons, but I'm willing to bet that this doesn't even fly. This should fly so much better, but what I'm willing to bet is that it doesn't because of the KV. So this is going to be a test of direct soldered 1102 19,000s in comparison to double connectored 0803 22,000s. Oh God, this rig has issues. What's happening? Oh God, it's hovering at like 1% throttle. Oh God, and the rates are all fucking weird. Oh, come on now. I can already tell you, it's not better. And there's a real vibration problem on this rig right now. What the hell's going on? At idle, it just wants to fly the hell away. Jesus, look at it. Hold on, let me bring the PIDs down a little bit. Pull these P gains down a little bit, and that should help it out a little. Alright, and we'll come down to 80 here as well. Okay. Come on now. Come on. A little bit better, not much though. So, oh boy. Man, this thing flies so bad on this V2 AIO. Well, yeah, man. It's just getting so much more of the battery voltage to the motors with the direct soldered motors and without the, oh God. I mean, the problem is it flies so bad that it's hard to really tell. I think it does have a little bit of extra power, maybe? Oh my God, the beeping! It's really tough to tell though because I mean, you can hear it. You can hear that it's not going down to 0 throttle. This thing can eat my ass with a fucking spoon. Fuck you. Yeah. Not a fair test. Not a fair test. But a test nonetheless. Okay. Well, when these T-Motor 0803 22,000s come out, they're the motor to have for a 1.6 millimeter propellered 1S tiny whoop. Nope, I can't. I don't have batteries charged. So our next round of tiny whoop testing is going to be 1S versus 2S, which ought to be interesting. Yeah. Really good testing here. Man, T-Motor, really good job. I was kind of getting into it with this rig on their 0803 22,000s. That was on a little Talon 451S. Hell, I mean, you could fly it on an even smaller battery, an even lighter weight battery. Man. CH3FPV says, but 1S versus 2S outdoor. I mean, tiny whoops aren't for outdoor, right? If you're flying a tiny whoop outside, you're doing it wrong. Outside, there's no reason to have ducts that wreck the flight performance of a rig. So yeah, I really don't think that flying a tiny whoop outside is something that anybody should do. You should be getting the ducts off of there, and then that changes everything. Yeah. Jackalope says, well, Mike Rosetta just woke up from a snooze. That thing rips. So we were just test flying 75 millimeter whoops. The one that was really shredding is on these prototype T-Motor 0803 22,000 kV motors. I am really impressed by this. 0803s. Man, once I turned that D-gain up a little bit, it was like good to go. The tune really came around. So typically my reasoning behind... Okay, so we're gonna finish this up with a little bit of sort of motor to prop weight theory. So all night we've been talking about 0803s versus 1102s. 1102 has more stator width but less stator height. Typically, more stator width will have more mechanical torque, and that will allow the PID loop to work better, because the PID loop is running at 4,000 to 8,000 cycles per second, and that's basically an infinite number compared to the response time that the motor and the propeller can produce. All right? So every single possible advantage that you can give the mechanical system to keep up with that PID loop running at 11 billion cycles per second is going to improve PID loop performance. You can really see it in the PID loop performance, and whether or not it can handle prop wash is the easiest thing to typically see. And that's what I thought that I was seeing on this T-Motor prototype 0803 22,000 kV rig, until I added 20 points to the D-gain. And then that prop wash went completely away. So what that tells me is that there's a really good chance that 08, 8 millimeters, is enough stator width for the heaviest of the 1.6 inch propellers. At which point the 3 millimeter tall stator is a really good thing, because a 3 millimeter tall stator is going to be much more efficient than a 2 millimeter tall stator. Wow. Very cool. Very, very cool. This thing rips. Yeah, so Wednesday of next week we'll do a little bit more digging here. We'll compare. So this is the best 75 millimeter motor to motor 1.6 inch propellered tiny whoop I've ever flown. And I can put this on these Ovonic batteries that are really lightweight. Much lighter weight than any of these 2S setups are going to be. So for an indoor, as lightweight as you can build it, 75 mil motor to motor whoop, this is it. T-Motor, great job on these 0803s. 0803, 22,000 kV on, yeah, 1S450, 1S400. I haven't really dug into the bigger 1S batteries, but I mean, hell, you can fly this on the Newbie Drone Gold batteries. It would fly great on those. I don't have any charged, but I will next time. Very cool. Damn! 0803! Very interesting. Thanks for hanging out, boys and girls. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. If you'd like me to keep doing stuff like this, I need your help. Click some stuff down here. Go over to CiottiFPV.com. Click a bunch of buttons over there. Join my Patreon. Do all the things. And, yeah, I'll just keep going forever. I am now double vaccinated, fully vaccinated, whatever. Cheers. And this has been your Whoop Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out, boys and girls. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Or Friday. Probably tomorrow. Here's some flying from Rampage. No, from after Rampage. Office 4? Nothing's working. Maybe not. Office 3? Hey, let's see if it actually plays that. Oh, it's playing. See you guys tomorrow or Friday.